What brought me here is that this year AI has been a mantra of conversation, and so when this opportunity was presented to me in an ecumenical format, I said yes, I absolutely got to move my schedule around to be at the table for this conversation, because it is the most pivotal conversation in this generation at this moment.
Data have a soul?
So today we had an amazing conversation virtually, and the conversation was centered around futuristic. If we could see in 2035, 10 years from now, what would be the things in which we would be focused on?
And I have this extraordinary privilege and delight to introduce today's presenter, Dr. Jane McGonigal. Jane is the Director of Game Research and Development at the Institute for the Future in Palo Alto, California. I first encountered her, and many of you may have also, in her 2010 TED Talk, which was Games Can Make a Better World. I was so blown away by watching that and all of her definitions surrounding a super empowered, hopeful individual that I began absolutely devouring her work.
Then it led into our breakout sessions. And so my team chose evangelism. What could that possibly look like now that leads into 2035? And so we're now coming together to come up with, for all of the denominations that are here, mainline denominations, what does it mean to live fully into being evangelism in the life of our local church? And what are the needs and what are the niches that came out of this in the intersection of AI is you have to have a front door.
And I thought it was interesting that of all the things that listed, the bias in AI, diversity, whose voices at the table, accessibility, there wasn't one journal article that mentioned anything about the environmental.
Right, and what theological wisdom do we add there?
No, I get it, but
I always believe technology is a tool to move any generation of people forward. Yes, it can also be a tool to tear down, but I believe that the church can be on the front line of this, to actually put ethical boundaries around it, but take the tool and use it to allow the messaging of Jesus Christ to go beyond the walls of the church, beyond Sunday. And this is not about making money, but it is about making disciples.